Good morning. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about an important topic, energy flow in an ecosystem. An ecosystem is having so much complexity of organisms. It has starting from small microorganisms, ants, insects to such big living organisms like eucalyptus tree or a banyan tree or big organisms, big animals like rhinos, hippos, elephants, giraffes, like that. So we have complexity of animals and plants. We can say diversified animals and plants are present in an ecosystem. Now, to run an ecosystem, energy is required. So from where that energy comes and how do that energy flows in an ecosystem, that we are going to discuss. Now, all of us know very well that the ultimate source of energy for an ecosystem is the sun. The sun's radiant energy comes to the earth. Only producers, or we can say only plants, green plants have the capacity to convert that radiant energy to chemical form. Green plants are known as producers and we know that they produces food. So how do they produce food? They convert the radiant energy or in the presence of radiant energy of the sun with utilizing this equation. They have raw material as CO2 plus water, 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O in the presence of sunlight, radiant energy we can say, with the help of chlorophyll. They produce the chemical form of energy, that is C6H12O6. You can say it is sugar plus 6O2. Oxygen is released in this process. So this is one of the most important process that is known as photosynthesis, and this photosynthesis can be carried out by the help of producers only, by the help of green plants only. So on this earth, only green plants, only producers have capacity to perform this reaction, and with the help of chlorophyll pigment in them and with the help of energy from the sunlight, they convert the carbon dioxide and water to form sugar. That is the important component, and one of the more important component that is released in this process is carbon dioxide, that we use for our oxidation of food, that we use for our respiration and breathing. Okay, so we will be concerning about sugar. So in this process, this chemical compound that is formed is sugar, and this sugar can be converted to many forms, like many type of amino acids or proteins, many types of hormones, carbohydrates, then cellulose. All these components are produced from this sugar, and we can see that all the plants have these type of products on in the form of their fruits, in the form of their roots, in the form of their branches. Okay, and we consume that plant part also just to satisfy our food needs. So what we are consuming from these plants, that is the stored food. This sugar is stored in plants, and these plants, they produce the food for their own growth, and they consume it for their own growth, and what is left over is stored in the form of fruits, and we consume that. So plants are doing this photosynthesis for their own good, for their purpose, but whatever is being left over or whatever is being left out after consuming their need, then that is stored, and that stored food is for our purpose. We use that stored food. Okay, so this is one of the most important process, and in this way the sun's energy is converted to this chemical form, and this chemical form of energy we utilize. Now what we do? We utilize this sugar in the form of proteins, in the form of carbohydrates, in the form of starch, in the form of cellulose, and when we consume this C6H12O6, what we need? We need oxygen. We breathe in oxygen. We and other animals, and I am talking about all the consumers. other than producers. What do? They take this sugar in the form of any component or chemical energy components. With the help of oxygen, respiration takes place. And with the help, oxygen is needed in respiration, and we breathe in that O2, and all the animals breathe in that O2. This O2 is required to convert this chemical component to a simplified product, and in this process carbon dioxide is released. So you must have seen that 6 CO2 plus 6 H2 plus energy is released, and this released energy is used for running our bodies, running all the animals' bodies, and all the organisms are using this energy only. We eat food, that is digested, respiration takes place, and after digestion, the energy that is released, we are doing all our activities with the help of this energy only. Okay, so this is the basic thing, how this energy is produced in an ecosystem and how it is running over. Now with the help of food chains and food webs in an ecosystem, this energy is flowing from one trophic level to another trophic level, you can say. And producers are one trophic level, then the animals or the consumers that are eating producers are another trophic level. So from one trophic level to another, another to another, in this way the energy flows in an ecosystem. So this we are going to see with the help of considering some food chains. Okay, so let us take food chains. Now what are food chains? With the help of food chains, we can get to know how energy flows in an ecosystem. Okay, so food chain is what? It is simply a representation, a graphical, plotical representation, you can say, and with the help of that we can know that who is eating whom. Okay, who is eating whom. Just like this food chain. Now these food chains are also of two types. One is known as grazing food chain, another is known as detritus food chain. We will be looking examples of both the types of food chain. So let us first see what is a grazing food chain. Now as the name suggests, grazing means to consume. The cattle graze on grass. So what is a grazing food chain? Grazing food chain is a food chain that starts with a producer or a green plant. Just a simple example. A green plant that is consumed by a rabbit. This rabbit will be eaten by, suppose, fox. Now this fox will be consumed by a lion. So this is a food chain. You can say a terrestrial food chain or a forest food chain. So what is in this food chain? We can see plants. Ultimately plants are the producers that are producing the food. Now these plants are consumed by rabbits. Rabbit is being consumed by fox, and fox is being the food of lion. And when this lion dies, or when this rabbit or plant or fox dies, what will happen? Their body will go in the soil. The microorganisms will act on that body, that dead body, and it will be converted into rich humus or compost, you can say. Then what happens? All the nutrients comes in the soil again. Plants again will absorb those nutrients, and the cycle goes on. So in this way the energy flows. And we are discussing this food chain. So plant is being consumed by rabbit, then fox, then lion. So this is a food chain, a terrestrial food chain. Now what do we see? This is the example of grazing food chain because it is started with a producer. Okay, plant is a producer. Rabbit is a primary consumer, fox is a secondary consumer, and lion is tertiary consumer. Okay. We can also look at like this. Plant is a producer, Rabbit is a herbivore, fox is a carnivore, and lion is a top carnivore. Okay. Now let us see the example of detritus food chain. By name, detritus means dead or decayed parts. Now, the food chains that starts with dead and decayed parts is known as a detritus food chain. Now, how the dead and decayed part? Suppose a dead body is lying there, or suppose a plant or animal dies, what happens? That body is being consumed by, or that body is being acted by lot type of microorganisms. When these microorganisms act on that body, some of the part is left over, that is being eaten by small insects, you can say, very small insects, or you can say the earthworm eats that. Now the earthworm is being consumed by a small bird. That small bird is being consumed by a snake. That snake is being consumed by a hawk. So this chain goes on. So from where this chain is starting? This chain is starting from a dead and decayed body. So this type of food chains are known as detritus food chain. The food chain that are starting from dead and decayed body parts. Suppose कोई dead organic matter, okay, it is being acted upon by snail, or you can say an earthworm. Now this is being consumed by a small bird, and that bird is being consumed by a snake or a big bird, like this. So this is the example of a detritus food chain. Okay. In grazing food chain, we have so many type of examples, because so many types of ecosystem are there. There is a desert ecosystem. There are forest ecosystem, there are aquatic ecosystem. In aquatic ecosystems we have fresh water, flowing water ecosystems, then still water ecosystems, like that. So many type of examples are there. We can consider the food chains of any type, but overall food chain is of two types, and it is just telling us which organism is being eaten by which one. Okay, so in this way the energy flows in an ecosystem. So today we are going to end this topic. In the next class we will be taking up some another topic. With this, have a nice day.